firstly, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for joining us today, and happy World Teachers Day. We're really excited to be here together to celebrate your dedication to students this year.
Can you guys turn it down?
We hope that everyone is ready to do something together that is fun, interesting, and gives us a welcome opportunity to experience a different part of the world. So before we get started, just a brief technical note. Please remain muted whilst Joaquin and Raquel are going through the cooking part of the section, but then once, if you have any questions along the way, just feel free to jump in. It's completely fine. There's only a small amount of us today, so otherwise you can just pop your questions in the chat. So your ingredients, this can be found in your confirmation email, and I hope you've had some time to prepare the potatoes, but completely fine if not. Okay, so with that said, I'd like to introduce our presenters, Joaquin and Raquel, who will be, and I'm so sorry if I've pronounced those incorrectly.
That's fine.
So Joaquin is a trilingual Spaniard living in Madrid. Before becoming a WorldStrides Tour Director, he was an attorney and ski instructor. Barcelona native Raquel loves learning new languages and cultures and put those interests to good use as a flight attendant for 15 years, traveling the world. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and you guys can take it away.
Okay. Well, as he said, my name is Joaquin. I'm originally from Madrid, the capital of the country, the capital of Spain. And I just came from Ibiza, which is a beautiful island in the Mediterranean Sea. I was living there, working there, since the situation was demanding like this COVID test. So this is what I've been doing the past 4 months. But I learned actually my English in Australia, back in Australia. I lived for nearly a year in Brisbane with the kangaroos and koalas that are everywhere, according to my friends. The first thing when I got there is like, have you seen any? It's like, yeah, they are in the supermarket, in the restaurants, all over. But I guess it's the same opinion that you guys have when you come to Spain. Like there's toros, I'm a torero, Raquel is a flamenco dancer. So all the stereotypes. Yes, you are. I'm not. I actually am against the bullfight anyway. So now we're going to be cooking today a very typical dish. It's called the Spanish omelette, like tortilla española. A tortilla is not like the Mexican thing. For us, is a very delicate and very important dish that you can eat all day long. You can eat a breakfast, lunch, dinner, like any time of the day is good to have a pincho tortilla. So you get like a little slice at the bar with a coffee or with a Coca-Cola, and then you can have it as an appetizer. We're going to be cooking the main one, which is the plain. I don't even have onions because, as I said, I came yesterday, so I forgot about buying onions. But you can add onions. You can add anything you want, starting from chorizo, cheese, mushrooms, peppers, anything that you got in mind. So I was cheating a little bit because otherwise it takes longer, the procedure. So I pre-cooked already my patatas. We're going to call them patatas. Those are the potatoes. So I use, obviously you need to use the cheaper oil that you have. But since in Spain, olive oil is not that expensive, I use, let's say, cheap olive oil. Yeah, aceite de oliva that you can see. But this is like a cheap one. It's like a cooking one. I mean, you can use also sunflowers in Spain in order to cook the potatoes. But if you cook it with olive oil, it tastes a little better. This is my tip of the day. I will be giving you those. But this is like €3 the bottle, I think, 1 liter, which is quite affordable, right? And then we reduce it. We have this thing. This is my grandma's tip. This is one of these oil containers. So then once I use it, I just pour the leftovers. You can see there's some part of the patatas there. So that's what we do. You can use it like 2 or 3 more times, not many. But then you can put it in your car and use it as a, or a car oil. Now, once you have the potatoes cooked, the way I cut it, I'm going to show you how to cut. This is my grandma's tip. I have a potato here. See, already peeled. So you need to cut it, but not the whole piece. Like you can cut the whole chunk, which is fine, like this, But I don't do it like that. What I do, I cut a little bit and then I tin it up like this. Can you see that? The reason why is because according to my grandma, when you cook it, the oil penetrates better into the potato, and we want that flavor. And this is the reason why you cut like a small little pieces like this. That's what I do. And then you put it like the oil. When you're gonna start frying the potatoes, I have normally the oil. My cook is electric, as you can tell, it's not fire. So if we're fire, I would say medium or even low medium. So here out of 9, I was cooking in number 3, number 4 for a little while, for 20, 25 minutes, depending. That's why I already pre-cook it in order to make it smoother and faster, the activity. But so they're already cooked. Now we're gonna start mixing them up. As I said, the ingredients are basically very simple. It's patatas, eggs, huevos, and I'm one of those guys that's into, I don't do meat and things like that. So I always buy bio. I don't know if you have this in Australia, but the meaning of this, we have 4 numbers in Europe. If this is the European law, see, you open it up and then you can see, okay, here we go. Let me see. Can you see the number 0 at the beginning? Can you see it? See, this is the best quality. That means they are wild range, and these chickens, they live in a very, let's say, good life. And number 1, they're also free range, but there's many more. Number 2, there's a lot of them in farm. Number 3, they live like sardines in a can. So, and obviously that affects the quality of the egg. So this is supposed to be ecological. This is the best quality. I mean, it costs you more, obviously. This, like in Spain, which is not very expensive, this is like 2 something, half a dozen, which is not bad. So we're gonna cook a 4 eggs tortilla. You can cook depending on the size of your fry pan. See, this is like medium, I would say 6 eggs, and then larger than this, more eggs. So we're gonna use the same one as I was cooking. See, you can see it already all, which could be 2 big potatoes and then 4 eggs. See, 4 of these. So now we're gonna beat the eggs with a fork. And I'm gonna make it simple. We put the eggs into a bowl. We need a bowl. See, I'm gonna be beating the eggs. And now what we're gonna be doing basically is to mix them. And we're gonna mix the eggs with the potatoes. Like we want to create like a paste. That's how I want it, because some people don't even mix the potatoes with the eggs. So this is up to you, depending on how you want to cook your tortilla. Okay, but the tortilla should take about half an hour, 45 minutes. But to make it a little faster, as I said, we already pre-cooked the potatoes. The good thing about them, if you are in a hurry, you can pre-cook them, as like I said, because we're gonna cook also some patatas bravas. You can put it in the microwaves. I did it. I did a little colorful, like sweet potato and normal potatoes. I'll show you later. But you can put it like 4 or 5 minutes. You cover it up in the microwaves, and it takes a little time. So you beat the eggs like this is like whoop. Important when you beat them, this is my grandma's tip as well. I add, to make it flatter, a little bit of milk, but just a couple of drops. So we're gonna be doing that. Just beat the eggs like this. This should be fine. Let me get my milk. See, you got like a little whoop. That's it. Good enough. Beautiful. Now we beat the eggs. Once we beat them, we can either add, if you want to cook it with the onions, as I said, you can fry the onions a little bit, add them now with the potatoes, and make that paste, the one we're going to put into the fry pan. I already switched on the cook. Again, when we're going to cook the tortilla, it's going to be in a very low flame and a little layer of olive oil. This is important. Now it got to be olive oil. When you're going to cook it, we need the olive oil. See? So now you mix it, and then you add salt. The problem about salt, if you put too much, you cannot remove it. So you just put a little bit and then taste it. If your omelette, whenever you cook, you need to clean your hands, so they're supposed to be clean. Okay? So just try it. Not enough. You put a little more. See, because otherwise, like I said, when you cook it, if it tastes salty, you cannot remove it. But if it needs a little bit more salt, you can always add it. Now we're gonna put the potatoes. I had them drying with this, cooking paper. Now we're gonna add them into the bowl like this, simple. And the potatoes are halfway cooked. They're not fried, but they're not obviously tough. They are like very tender, very soft. That's what we want them. And now what I like doing is, like I said, you mix it like this, like a paste. You can mix it like this, because this is the mixture we're gonna be adding to the fry pan. And again, you can try it again. See, I'm gonna be trying it one more time just to make sure the flavor is our taste. I mean, if you like salty, you put a lot of salt, and if you like more onions, you put more onions. And now is the time whenever you put your cheese, your bacon, your pepper, your mushrooms, wherever you want to add. This is the time now before you put it into the fry pan. The fry pan is already hot. You gotta be hot whenever you put it in, and now you're gonna be adding a little bit more salt. You can even put also some spices if you like spicy. This is the good thing about tortilla, that it goes well with anything. It's like the pasta. See, now we're gonna put it into the fry pan. Can you hear the noise? Whoop. I use one of these silicone spatulas. It comes a little more, and that's it. Also, whenever you want to control it. Now, timing. With the flame in number 3, number 4, it might need about 5 minutes or so, and then we're gonna flip it over. So in the meantime, in order to make it smoother, my colleague Raquel is gonna start with her sangria. So enjoy.
Gracias.
Nada.
Hola a todos. Hi. I'm Raquel. I'm from Barcelona, although I lived in many places, but before COVID, I just came back to Barcelona, and I've been here since then, and I think that I'm going to stay here for a while, actually. I'm a flight attendant as well as a tour director, and today I'm going to show you how to prepare an amazing sangria for you to celebrate the end of lockdown. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna tell you what you are gonna need, okay? So we're gonna need a big bowl, a big spoon to mix the sangria. We are gonna need liqueur, okay? So you can use any liqueur. Sangria is the most versatile drink you are gonna have and you are gonna prepare. So all depends on your taste. So the basic ingredient is red wine, and then you mix it with another liqueur. So you can use vermouth, as I'm gonna use today. I'm gonna show you. You see vermouth. But you can use brandy, you can use Cointreau, Grand Marnier, any liqueur. That goes on your taste, obviously. You can mix both liqueurs, Grand Marnier and brandy, or vermouth and Cointreau. You can use 3 liqueurs, but I would recommend you to use only one, because otherwise it takes the taste of the wine away, and we don't want that, because this is the base of sangria, okay? So the traditional sangria is made with red wine, so that's why it's called sangria. Sangria comes from sangre, blood, okay? And the color of the blood is red, and the traditional sangria is red as well because of the red wine. Nowadays, however, we have all sorts of sangrias. As I said, everybody makes it the way they prefer. So you can use red wine, you can use white wine, rosé, champagne. But the basic one, the traditional one, is the red wine. And this is the one we are going to be using today, okay? So we have our wine, we have our liqueur, we need orange and lemon. So today I'm going to be using Fanta orange and Fanta lemon, but you can use orange
Excuse
juice.
me, I have a question about the red wine. Does it need to be a very good red wine or not necessarily?
No, not very good. Please don't spoil a very good red wine making a sangria. Thank you very much, Joaquin. This is a good question. No, just a basic young red wine, okay? Because it's meant to be a refreshing drink, okay? A summery drink. So you don't want to use like a good quality wine to make the sangria. So just, I think I paid about €4 for this wine. So just a normal wine. Thank you, Joaquin. Anyway, so I was saying about the Fanta orange and the Fanta lemon. You can use orange juice or lemon juice. The reason why I use Fanta is because I don't need to add any extra sugar. However, when I use the orange and the lemon juice, I always need to add some sugar. This is up to you as well. If you cannot find the Fanta, you can use 7-Up, Sprite, or any soda, any orange or lemon soda. Okay?
Voy a dar la vuelta, Raquel.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Joaquin.
Sorry to interrupt everyone. Now we want I need to turn her over. I don't want to cook it a lot. So we're gonna flip her over. This is the trickiest part, right? When you flip her over. Now the first time you do it, it's probably like, don't do like on the fry pan like this. It might be a scrambled eggs on the ceiling. We don't want that. I mean, you eat it, but we don't want that. So to make safer, we put a plate in order to cover the whole pan. So obviously the plate gotta be bigger than the pan, and it gotta be very quick. You flip it over and then you put it back in like this. 1, 2, 3, go, boom. And then you put it back in again.
Yeah, well done.
That was very smooth.
That is fantastic. Like that is a hot
Very
take.
Hardest
smooth.
part of the tortilla. See, this is what we
You've
want.
done this before, right?
Yesterday. It was my first time yesterday, yes. Yeah, but I was trying. Yeah, no, I mean, I like cooking, obviously. I'm not a very good cook, but I like it.
You are a very good cook. Come on, he's a very good chef.
About the ingredients, but we were missing the most important one. We said like salt, milk, eggs, potatoes, sometimes onions, but there's one very important, which is love. If you don't put love cooking, it doesn't taste good. Is it true?
Anyway, yeah. Can I carry on?
You want to continue? Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we have the drinks. Now we need the fruit. What are we going to use? What I normally use is 1 apple, 1 pear, and 1 peach. But again, this is at your taste. I sometimes put watermelon as well. I use banana as well. But the traditional one is with pear, peach, and apple, okay? And then orange and lemon. So this is our fruit. Now, we are gonna mix all the drinks. First of all, okay, so we will put the wine into the bowl, the whole bottle. Okay. Now, we are gonna take a small glass. I'm gonna show you to compare it with the can of Fanta. So this size, okay, is a little glass. And we are gonna fill 3/4, as we have enough alcohol in the wine. As I said, you can use another liqueur or 3 liqueurs, but we don't want to take the taste of wine away, okay? So about this quantity of liqueur, and then we'll pour it in the bowl. Can of Fanta. Here the Fanta lemon. I can feel the smell already. And then we mix all the drinks together. And we are gonna leave it on the side to get ready the fruit, okay? Smells really nice, I have to say. Okay, so how are we gonna chop the fruit? Okay, the lemon and the orange, we are gonna slice it. Like that, okay? And then with the peach, the apple and the pear, we are gonna dice it, all right? Now, some people leave the skin on and some people remove the skin. I remove the skin, I prefer to have just, you know, the fruit, plain fruit. Just give me 1 second.
Well, in the meantime, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Joaquin.
Now, in the meantime, I was gonna show you that it's already cooked. I mean, if you like it, like you can put it a couple more times, like you flip it over a couple of more times, but I like it this way, like which is medium. So it's very well cooked in the inside because some people like it like let's say rare, like the egg it just melts whenever you open it, but I don't like too much that, so I like it this, and then you just put it in a plate and that's it, and then you have it ready, and then you keep the fry pan for the patatas bravas, but this is the final result, more or less. This is what we call tortilla española, that you can find it at any single bar in Spain. You get a pincho tortilla, you get like the whole tortilla, or you can cook it at home and then you have it in the fridge for 2 days or more because it's containing eggs. But this is the final result. Very nice and easy.
That's great.
Yummy. What?
Can you save a piece for me?
I can send it UPS. I can send it with UPS. So
Please,
by
yes.
3 days you'll be eating it.
Thank you.
In Barcelona, because since in Barcelona I'm from Madrid, it's about in miles, I would say 400 miles, 652 kilometers the distance. So it takes a while.
Anyway,
I hope mine looks that good.
okay, back to me. So I was talking about the fruit. Okay, so this is the result. Of the pear, the peach, and the apple. Okay, so I peel them off and then I just dice the fruit. So now we are gonna place them in the bowl. There we go. Okay, as I said, you can peel it off or just leave the skin on. If you leave the skin on, obviously you will need to wash it properly, all right? And then we have the lemon and the orange. With this, I keep the skin on, all right? And then I'm gonna mix it all. Wow, that is very nice. Obviously, the ingredients are based on one bottle of wine, okay? So if you want to make a bigger sangria, if you are using 2 bottles of wine, then you will need to use 2 pears, 2 apples, 2 oranges, so obviously the double, all right? So depending for how many people you want to make the sangria. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to flip the computer down so you can see the result. There you go.
Looks good.
Looks lovely.
Nice.
Can you bring some to me in Melbourne?
Yes, I'm gonna send it over to you. Anyway, so top tip here. We're not gonna use the ice until we don't serve the sangria. So now we are not going to use the ice, because what happens is the ice melts and then the sangria becomes too watery, and we don't want that. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to put the big bowl of sangria into the fridge for a couple of hours. So the sangria can take all the juice from the fruit, all right, and it's going to be more tasty, obviously. And then after 2 hours, it will be ready to serve. So what, I normally do, and most people do, is we use fill in one bottle. Sorry, one bottle, one jug. Okay, I'm not gonna do it all, but there you go. So you fill in one jug, and then you put the ice straight into the glass, all right? And then you serve your sangria. Whoops, there you go. And here you go. That's it.
Can I get one, please?
What do you want?
I'll get one. I'll get one. You don't mind.
Okay, when I get your tortilla.
Okay, let me
Do a switch.
The tortilla
Okay,
over to me.
Okay.
And
You can
now I'm gonna drink it, and I'm gonna go out celebrating the end of lockdown.
Okay. So now to finish up the cooking activity, let's. This is simple. As I said, I pre-cook it, so you can. Again, you peel them, the potatoes. I put also sweet. I put some sweet potatoes, like you can see the color, like a orange color. They used to make it a little more colorful, and it tastes a little different actually when you add sweet potatoes with the potatoes to make the patatas bravas. See, it's like a spicy potatoes, also very popular, especially in the center of the country. I mean, all over the country anyway. But we love this tapa actually. Tapar means a tapa is like to cover. It's like. This could be la tapa of the bowl. See, it's a legend. One of our famous kings the 10th, the wise man. He covered his glass, and the waiter covered the glass with a tapa, with a little plate, because there was a lot of flies around, and that little plate had a bit of cold meat, jamón serrano, and then the king, apparently, according to the legend, he liked that idea, the little tapa. And that's why we call them tapas. But a tapa is a lid, a cover. And this is the meaning of tapar, is to cover something. So this would be la tapa del bol, see? But a tapa is like a small appetizer. Now, as I said, I peel them. I cut them in little pieces, little chunks. And then I put it in the microwaves to make it faster. I put it in the microwaves, like you cover with this, the how do you call it, these flicks? The plastic thing, or you can cover with a plate. Yeah, and then 4 or 5 minutes, very high, 800, I think 900, depending on the microwave, and then you can fry them a little bit, then with the sauce. So we're gonna make the sauce. To make the sauce very simple, you can make a homemade tomato sauce. Like you peel the tomatoes, you boil them, and then you smash them, and then you grind them, but in order to avoid that, I buy them already cooked. But again, Dio, a very good tomato sauce, tomate frito, fried tomato. See, and again, you can add any spice that you want. You can use cayenne. We have this cayenne thing. See, these little pieces that they're very spicy. In order to cook it with the oil, you could use the this is like a Mexican spice. You can use the oil too, spicy oil with the pepperoncino, with the pepper. So any spice that you like, you can add it to the sauce. So we have the fry pan ready. We add a little bit of olive oil again. I have it here. See, and then we can add some cayenne to the sauce. And you can add, depending on your, obviously, spice taste. I'm gonna add, and then you can break them. If you break it, it tastes more. See, Then make sure you don't put your hand into your eyes, because then you're going to be crying the whole day. Just make sure you clean them. And then I'm going to add a bit of tomato sauce. See, you can hear when you add it. And then make sure you mix it with the, very simple. You can add a bit of sugar too. If you add, but this tomato already contains sugar. If it's a homemade, you can add salt and sugar, but the good thing about these things is they already have everything that you need for the sauce. So the sauce could be already pretty much cooked. Okay? You give them like a little minute, stir it up, and then you add the potatoes already half cooked. So you can add them, let's say 1 minute or two. Very simple, very easy to cook this, dish, and it's very popular. Like whenever you order a drink in Spain, you can go to the bar, order a glass of sangria, and that could be the tapa. And many of the places is for free. So if you get 1 or 2 sangrias, you get a couple of tapas, and then you probably already, had dinner, which is the good thing about it. And this is a tradition, like the tapa. Obviously, if the tapa is for free, you cannot choose what you want. That's, obviously that's the house, the bar, or the restaurant that is gonna put you wherever you want. To make it more spicier, you can add a bit of spicy oil, like I like doing this. And I add obviously salt, but I also add a bit of oregano at home. I like it. That taste at the end. You add a little bit, and that's it. Very simple. You have friends at home coming, you get some tapas, like you prepare a tortilla, you get some manchego cheese, and then I'll show you now how you set up like a tapas table in order to invite your friends and family.
The tapas is not the same everywhere. For example, here in
Barcelona. No, because in Catalonia they make you pay. They like the money. We don't.
We are stingy. No, yes,
no, but it is true. It is true. Depending on the city or the region. In Granada, like the tapa is like a huge, massive plate. So depending on in Salamanca, certain university cities, let's say, because the students don't have money, they get very good tapas. And it's still in Madrid. Some places you don't get anything, some olives, but some of the places you get tapas. So depending on where you are.
You don't get free tapa anywhere nowadays. Before you used to. Now, nothing. So I think Andalusia is the best place to get the free tapas.
Where? Andalusia, yeah, I believe so too, yeah. Now there you go. They're already cooked. You can put a high flame now at the very end to make sure they are hot. You can see the smoke coming out.
Yeah.
So they're already done.
I can't even smell it, Joaquin.
Huh? Can you smell it?
Oh my God, yeah.
Right. So we put it in the plate, and this is the result.
Oh, wow.
This is the patatas bravas, ready to eat. So now, in the meantime, Raquel is talking to you. I'm going to move to the living room, and then I'll show you how to set up the table, okay?
Perfect. Yeah, just one more thing I forgot to tell you about. We can add some cinnamon as well, cinnamon stick to the sangria, because it gets a little bit more of fragrance and it's very nice. But again, as I said, depends on you and your taste, okay? So if you like cinnamon, I would recommend you to put a couple of sticks into the sangria, all right? And it's gonna be very, very nice taste. The fruit, you can eat it, of course, because many people ask me, but what do you do with the fruit? Well, I eat it, but again, it depends on you. So, yeah, I don't know if you have any questions about the sangria, anything else you want to know?
Raquel, what type of red wine did you use again? Does it matter what type it is?
Well, yeah, I would use a young wine, no expensive one, okay? No good quality wine, because you just spoil the wine basically. Yeah. So yeah, they use the cheapest one. I'm gonna show you.
Well, this is meantime. Look how we set up the table with the tapas. Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
Sangria,
Oh,
bravas.
You're going to have an amazing
We're missing-
breakfast, Joaquin.
Yes, we're missing the glass of sangria there, but it's okay.
Joaquin, that looks beautiful.
It does,
Thank
eh?
you. Now you're all invited to come now. You just need to get a plane, then I'll wait for you. It might be a little cold whenever you get here, but
But look like you